live.
You are
What's going on, my people?
It's
your boy Monte Carlo. We have.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what's that?
Wait. He killed Fleazy.
He killed him?
Yo, Fleazy was like, I'll die as family.
How did he do it?
He might be still alive.
He rolled up a paper and smacked the hell out of Fleazy.
He might. Guys, thank you for watching Big Picture Podcast. We are back on a Tuesday. Switching up a little bit for y'all. It's your boy Monte Carlo. We have here. Mr. Will. We have Miss J here. Hi. How you doing?
Hi.
Yes, she's co-hosting with us today. You know, glad to have her here.
Absolutely. I didn't get a chance to meet you last week.
Yeah.
But I'm happy you're here. I heard that poem.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, probably trying to get one, you know.
I'm probably going to battle you. I'm going to battle you one day.
You going to battle me? Let's do it.
Freestyle.
Okay. Poem freestyle on Big Picture. That's what's up. Man, how was your week? What's going on?
I was listening to Nas all week.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
And then Jay-Z and Beyonce came out with a album.
A surprise album.
Yeah.
And I made it a point not to listen to that trash.
Ooh,
So you didn't listen to it?
Really?
Okay.
Trash.
It's pandering to the commercialism in music that is part of the problem.
Oh, okay, Brother Will.
I'm just saying. Like we are stuck on materialism. And our problem is materialism and capitalism and just wanting to acquire stuff. And when you see Jay-Z, Beyonce, we consider them black excellence, black royalty. But they only can show how important they are in front of European art. I don't give a fuck about European art because the art game is fake.
Yeah.
The art game is fake as fuck. A painting being $30 million is fake. It's stupid. Because people are still dying, people are still hungry. Flint's water still looks like Hennessy. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
So like, I know it's art majors, and I love you guys. There's fashion majors. I love those guys too. They're so creative. But they've been creative under a system of stupidity. Like, it's just dumb. So no matter how talented you are, like Virgil and all of the people who are in that scene, they're talented, but they're like, talent is like...
Oh, man. I'm sorry to cut you off. Dolly is not here tonight because, you know, we do the time schedule. We have to switch things up. No, people want to ask him, where's Dolly? So, you know, we miss you, Dolly. We miss Dolly.
We doing it on different days.
Yeah, different days. So last minute, you know, schedules are conflicting. So that's why she's not here.
Listen, the spirit of Dolly is with us.
Yeah. Dolly G, she's here in the building.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
But no, let me get off of that. I don't want to keep going on that. Let's talk about the Nas album.
Yeah, Nas album was great, man. Really impressed. I'm glad Kanye West did all of the tracks on it. At this point, you know, I had like one favorite song, and then it's like now I got about 3 or 4 favorite joints on there. So out of, I think it's like 7 songs, I can say I'm really digging about. I'm digging all of them, but like my favorite about 4 or 5 of them right now. 4. So that's majority of the album, pretty much.
How you feel about that Chi-Town love though?
You know, it feels good.
Ye massaged that album.
He did.
Yeah,
he put a little swag on it, you know. And I've been listening to it nonstop. I did stop to listen to the Jay-Z and Beyonce. I listened to maybe the first song. The first song is hard.
Oh yeah,
the first song is hard.
I ain't gonna lie. Summertime is hard. And Ape Shit is pretty hard too.
Ape Shit is hard, but I haven't listened to it because it just threw me off my Nas vibe, so I put Nas back on.
Facts. So, like, cause they sound too new. They sound like the kids.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't want to say it's bad, but are you still marketing to 18 to 24-year-olds? You 50, God. You are 50. Why can't hip hop grow up? Why can't we grow up?
Yeah. What about 444? Didn't he grow up?
It was cute. But that's cute. One out of like 13 albums.
Cute. Okay.
That's surface. It's surface. He's still telling you to flip money by getting into art.
Okay, that's real.
These niggas don't even know what. They don't know what this fine artist that he's talking about.
Right.
They don't even know, like.
Okay, so you saying pretty much they talking about all this high culture, all this art, all this stuff that kids in the hood don't even get exposed to
at all.
Like they don't even respect going to the museum to see that art. So having that in their house is like, why? Why would I want that when I could just get an outfit, I get a car, I could get something else instead of something to hang on my wall that's $25,000. Like it's not relevant to them.
They left people. They have like ascended, and she's saying bars. She said, "Give me my check, put respect on my check, or pay me in equity."
Yeah.
That's powerful.
That is powerful.
But how powerful and how much is it going to be received, and how are we going to really hear that if most of us are not listening? Right. They're not listening for that. I probably just put people on to a lyric that they didn't even know she said.
I haven't heard the whole album because I was still listening to Nas.
Yeah,
but somebody else said that too. But yeah.
Nas is killing him right now.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't like the timing of it, but I think it was perfect timing.
What, the Jay-Z and Beyonce did?
Coming out with Nas.
Oh, no, it was tacky.
I mean, see,
of course that was tacky. Come on, man. I don't know if it was an attack against Nas or Kanye or Apple Music or I don't know, or just the other side, so to speak. But that shit was tacky. Yeah. We didn't need that album right then. It was like the next day.
I mean, it's for the culture.
Nah, bro.
Let's go for the, let's keep the culture alive.
That's not for the culture. That's called like overshadowing. Like you're pretty much punking somebody who's not in a position to do anything against you.
Yeah. People just keep listening, keep watching. We have a gentleman named Clarence Graham. He's going to be calling in around 8:15. He is a patient. Well, he used to be a patient back in 1972, 1973 era. So, all right. So let's get back to the Nas and
Nas is fire. Ye should have been working with Nas since he got to New York. His first stop should have been wherever Nas was at. I resent all the Ye work on Jay-Z's album.
Really?
I resent it. Nah,
that's
no. Because Jay did not teach us. We need to learn. When I was a kid, I was the biggest Jay-Z fan. Anybody who knows me knows I thought I was Jay-Z.
That's true, okay.
But we're not learning. We have to learn.
This is what should have. He should have been with them. Then when he started falling off, he should have linked up with Nas and been going with him the whole way. He'd have been straight. I needed Blueprint. You can't tell. That's one of my favorites.
Blueprint would have been just as good with Just Blaze, mostly. And Bink. If Just Blaze and Bink could have made the Blueprint.
I see where you're coming from. We just caught that era of Jay-Z, which made him who he is today.
Trash.
That's all it is. We just caught it. Because, I mean, believe you me, like, some of these kids are still not even listening to him. 444. They don't hear it.
Yeah, but the problem is we are listening to him.
Yeah,
and we think what he's saying is worth anything.
Yeah. I mean, it was positive rap popping when we was younger. You know what I'm saying? But we still chose to hear DMX and hear, Jay-Z, Ja Rule, and list goes on.
Whoever has the most marketing dollars influences the minds of who they're marketing.
And the beats go with it too, though. They just have
but that comes with marketing dollars because the people who make the best beats get the most money.
Except for Nas, he sell verses, sell his records.
Verses sell the records. It's never the production. But on this one, Nas,
I think he said something about on one of the songs.
This one it's both. This one he's finally gotten like both.
He said $1 million for a track, or we got to exchange a verse. So either you on this level, you can exchange a verse, or you got to pay $1 million. I was like, wow. It's a couple of he's dropping some jewels on there, man. You know what I mean? He's dropping some jewels on there. Both those albums are good. And I was kind of scared to listen to J&B's joint, but I put it on. I was just like, wow, that joint is hard. They got some good production on there.
They do.
And it's like now I think people are gonna want to go and buy the CDs because now people want to know who's producing all of these tracks.
Nah, bro, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. That's been coming up in conversations lately. When I be talking to some people about different albums, they say Kanye's on the whole album. Oh, okay, they want to get it because Kanye's on the whole album.
Right,
so, say for instance, Dream did 5 songs on J&B's album. People gonna be like, oh snap, Dream did 5, 6 joints. That album must be hard. You know, you want to know who's doing. That's the whole purpose why people like them CDs, because
that's how
you can't even Google. Can you Google? Is there sites?
Album credits? You Google.
You can. Yeah, but I mean, it's like, do they have like a system where you can just an app or
no? Maybe
some type of site?
Maybe we should make a website then.
So, you know,
edit that part out.
You know what I mean? So love is love, man. You know, and so
you like that album? No, we can't move forward.
The J&B album?
That J&B album is trash, bro. You wildin'. Oh my god.
One of my favorite joints on there. I think it's.
I mean, Summertime is crazy.
Boss
Ape
is hard.
shit is crazy. Boss not hard.
Boss is hard.
I mean, I like my music, right? To like have the palette, it has the canvas. It's a nice canvas. I like it to have a nice canvas. Absolutely. Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to Phyllis
I
Brandy.
like the music to have a nice canvas, but I also like the lyrics on top of it to really like mean something. I understand, like, you know, the drug dealer redemption story, and some people think it's just glorification, but like Pusha T has never really glorified coke rap necessarily. He's always kind of reverted it to how it was wrong, and even especially now, it's like, you know, seeing what the cocaine he may have sold friends of his, what it does to people that he loves. So it's always a redemption story with Pusha T. Jay-Z always seemed like it was a redemption story. But the problem is, it's hard to like, it's hard to expect people to be able to dig into the music past the surface lines. Because in America, we're not trained to learn how to actually read.
It's over with. I mean, social media killed all of that.
I mean, but even before that, I didn't learn poetry.
Well, I mean,
and tons of us didn't learn poetry. And poetry, learning how to read poetry and just understand it, because it's not what's on the page.
Right.
It's never what's on the page. It's never the words themselves.
Let's get into something real quick.
Nah,
no.
Go there.
I'm gonna get into a few topics, and this is something I want you to really get into.
Nah, man,
you know, the smoking marijuana. You know, they're lighting it up now, where people they can do it in the street. But my thing is, it's like to where you can't get locked up. Are saying, oh, you can't have this charge, you can't have that.
New York?
Yeah.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
So we can go outside right now.
Yeah, but they're saying the guidelines are is that you can't have no recent past criminal history. You can't have been arrested. Like, it's like they're making it so if you black, you might as well just not even smoke weed, because they're gonna try to put you in some type of category where you understand what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Like I heard on the news today, and it was like, yeah, you can't have done this. This can't happen. This can't. Your driver's license. Like just all type of.
So I'm gonna get a card that says I can do this or something?
Nah, it's just
so
that
they
you
saying
cannot.
that the cops gonna stop you and run your shit.
Yeah.
That's
If something pops up,
and if you were smoking marijuana and you have no misdemeanors or felonies, they'll let you go.
Yeah, or if you've been through something in the past 6 months or whatever, they're probably gonna arrest you for it.
I promise you, it's
because they're looking at it, I guess, as trying to discipline you or whatever.
They're gonna look up more minorities than they look up non-minority. Non-minority.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
because the police and
slave
slave
history, all this other kind of stuff, and I mean,
we're talking about the slave patrol here, y'all.
Yeah.
We're not really talking about no like noble. I want to protect the neighborhood. We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
The shit is real cute. The mission statement to protect and serve is cute, but that's not what we talking about.
These are the most crimes in this neighborhood. All right, cool. So we'll say this couldn't have happened to you in this amount of time or what have you. So
shit's bullshit, bro.
Yeah. You know, but it is what it is, though. You know. But other than that, man.
Some people be hating white people, y'all. Do y'all get it? Y'all understand why people hate white people sometimes, right?
Yo, guys, during the week, though, we had some good conversations.
Shit is wild, disrespectful.
We had a good conversation about the woman that has, 3-4 degrees and is dating dating
the group text.
Yeah. Yeah. And and is dating the gentleman who is not living up to her style, her status. So she has like these insecurity issues, and that she might have. They might not be insecurity issues. They might be something that happened in her life or whatever you want to call it. And now she is settling, and covering it up by saying, "Oh, he loves me," or "He makes me feel like he's my daddy," So I'm like, it's a daddy versus partner. You want a daddy or you want a partner? Somebody you can, grow with You know, so how do you know, we spoke about it briefly this week through the text. How do you feel about that?
How I feel about that? Mm-hmm. Well,
let the people know how you feel about it.
Well, I guess I have to speak from first-hand experience. I have 2 degrees, and I don't necessarily date people who have a degree. I mean, you can't just be out of here, no high school diploma, nothing like that. But, and I have a lot of friends who are educated, you know, maybe they have a couple degrees, but I don't think it's just like, oh, the woman and these issues and all the stuff that she got, but I think it's just coupled with everything. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I grew up, I may not know my biological father, but I had my grandfather, so I had a wonderful man there the whole time. So I know what it looks like to have a great relationship. I know what it looked. My parents, when they might argue, say something, Bessie, whoop up the bam, and she go in the back, get mad, and then later on they rubbing each other's feet, like talk.
That's that shit for real.
Yeah.
And they talk about it, but I think that, you know, first of all, it's just a different society. This is 2018, like, everything goes now, you know what I'm saying, a lot. And then oftentimes with black women, I just feel like we don't have a lot of options, you know what I'm saying? Like, the black woman is the most under-recognized person in America, to be quite honest with you. We're the most educated, but we don't get recognized. It's like we get penalized for wearing our hair natural. We get penalized for how our bodies look, but other people go and get it like that, and they, oh, that looks good, but I'm naturally like that, and you don't like this. You don't like this dark skin, but you go get it tan. So it's a lot that's on the black woman's plate. And then she has this excellence where she's in her career doing her thing, and now she wants somebody. She ready to start her family. She ready to do her thing. But man, a lot of these guys out here, man, they got a lot of issues. First of all, they don't know how to treat these women oftentimes, and it's like, okay, what do you do? So yeah, I gotta go for the dude who work at Rent Center and he slang a couple bags on the side. I mean, who else I'm gonna get?
I'm gonna say this, right?
Come on.
I don't really respect I'm indifferent towards education.
Right.
Because you could get your degrees and you can do well or bad. You know what I'm saying? You could not have a degree and you can do well or bad.
Right. So you want to say successful, a woman who got their stuff together?
But what is that? Because most times we're getting everything mixed up in whether she has a house, a car, money.
Okay, now that's where we going.
What is success? What is a good woman? Like, these women have these degrees. But I think the problem is America, the society, the world, we put these degrees on a pedestal. So naturally, if you attain them, you feel like you deserve to be standing on that pedestal.
That's a fact.
You went into debt.
You sure did.
You stayed up for 20 hours out of the day.
Yeah.
You had to study and read all of this shit. You earned that degree. I can't take that from you.
Yeah.
But that is not a measure of success, like a successful person. Like, because a person is not about what the person has. What are you naked?
That's real.
You're successful. If you're successful, you're naked, and you're happy and healthy and aware of yourself and your relationship to the universe, you're a success.
That's a fact.
So unfortunately, we get fucked up with all this other stuff. But you're right, black women are like underappreciated and the most educated. And it's like, it's hard. It's hard for y'all because the educated dudes, the dudes who are educated, let's keep it a buck.
They have hard times too.
They have a very hard time.
They have a hard time too. And not just, you know, so much, like we said, on the education part, just anybody with their stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Anybody getting up grown, paying bills, you know what I'm saying? Being responsible. But that's something else that I want to kind of address, that me, myself, recently, just been doing a lot of soul searching and looking at where I am, you know what I'm saying, in my life. And just realizing, like, okay, what defines me being a grown woman? What is that? Okay, I got a couple degrees. Okay, I got my crib. I got a car. I got this. I got that. But okay, you grown. the thing is, I just realized I wasn't grown for so long because of how I was moving when it came to like relationships. I was moving like a girl with a girl mentality, but it's so many boys out here. And a lot of women may not want to hear this, but a lot of women is operating at this girl mentality. They not demanding from these men to step up to the plate, and they acting like boys. I had a homegirl go out the other day, and she grown. Like, she put me on being grown. I be just wanting to be around her because she grown. But she be putting me together like, girl, did you move off the bed? So, you know, she's going out on dates like a lot of women are. And Buddy was like, okay, first date, let's do this. And he was like, second date, I need you to cook, and I'm finna come to your crib. Whoa, bro, what you talking about? First of all, you not finna know where I live at, and and the reason why he wanted to see what she was like, I'm sorry, friend, but he wanted to see how she performed sexually before they got any deeper. Like, that's the type of mentality guys are on now. Well, at least in some areas. But I mean, that's what a lot of women are up against. That's just one scenario. You looking at like, oh my gosh.
Like, I mean, because if we grown and we get it in like that, that happens. But like, I don't know what it's like to date, really. Okay. I mean, I only know what it's like to be in a relationship and to cheat. Mm-hmm. That's all I know. I don't really know that whole like single, let's go on dates and I'm dating multiple people. I don't know that. I know like.
So what is
in
dating?
Public and sneaky.
What does that mean? Like, because I got into an argument with somebody some years ago.
I thought it was courting. I thought dating was the courting process before you just get your girlfriend. So like, if it takes 4 dates, 8 dates, 16 dates, you're courting this woman to pretty much, if we could take it back, go steady.
Okay, come on, brother.
No, that's what you're doing. Like,
that's real. That's real.
Otherwise, because I always say this, after we grown, once we 18, every relationship is a potential lifetime relationship. Really? Because you can have a kid with that person. Right. Or you can catch something from that person that you keep for life.
I was talking to a...
No. So once you don't have sex so early, for anybody, men, females, it don't matter.
Value
just chill. Know who this person is, because you might not like them.
Right, real.
How long do you think you have to see the signs before you think it's time to bail out?
Before it's time to bail out?
Yeah, like say for instance, like like if you see signs like that first month, you know what I mean? First, I think that's like something that you,
flag.
When you start seeing those signs, I think it's like after a month.
I say everybody should comprise a litmus test for their love. You got to figure out how this person thinks. Me, personally, I ask the girl for naked pictures in like the first day that I meet her. And if she sends them, she's done.
Damn. What if she cusses you out? If it gets done with you, like, what is you? Are you
So you be sending pics to them? You be sending the what's it called?
No, I don't send pics to them.
How could, are you out of your mind?
Well, no, see, but the thing is, I'm not saying like, send me a naked picture. I'm not gonna say it like that. I might phrase it differently. Like, I write, so I might like.
Me of my cousin.
I just might phrase things just a little bit differently. But if she sends them, she's a done deal. I can't.
That's crazy.
She loose. Maybe I'm loose with the mouth, but she loose with the goose, and I'm good. Right. Because I'm not loose necessarily. Like, I'm chill.
I want to do a quick PSA /
find your own litmus test for your love.
I was talking to my mechanic the other day, and he was saying like he had a DV case, and the judge told him, he said, listen, the judge was even going through the same situation with his wife. He said, when you go into the court for a DV case, the woman you're guilty until proven innocent. The man.
Yes, I mean, it makes sense. It only makes sense.
And they kind of went back and forth about it, because some women, if the man comes back to beat the woman up, and she dropped the case the first time, then if the guy comes back around because she dropped it, then there's a chance she might die. That's why the state picks up the case, whether she wants to drop it or not. Right. So it's that's that gray area right there where it's like, the man has to suffer because the woman might be lying from the gate. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
like and it's just like, that's why you got to see the signs. First, if you see that woman is aggressive, she's always agitated, you can't bring her down, you can't de-escalate her, You know,
you don't want to be around
yes,
her.
you don't want to be around her, because if it gets any way, shape, or form physical, and she is in that space, that personal space with you, and it gets physical, then she, God forbid, she calls the cops. You know, even loud verbal communication with them, screaming. They'll come and they'll take you in. Yeah, they'll take you in.
I mean, I can't say I don't argue with my wife, but you know, you got to be able to talk. You got to be able to talk, and I can't say that it's never gotten physical, but you have to be able to talk. Told I just ate one of those flies.
Vegan style.
Yeah. Get your protein for the day, players.
Yeah. So we have Mr. Clarence. He's gonna call in. He should be calling in a couple minutes. And he's gonna, let us know his situation. He was a patient at a psych hospital when he said he was 12 years old. So I'm gonna go ahead and call him. And yeah, I'm gonna call him. Yeah, let's get this show on the road.
But real quick, while you go ahead, connect it. Women should just back to the whole the successful woman. I think you stop dating with your eyes. It's like it's kind of like we know now that we can't eat with our eyes. We have to eat with our minds. We got to know that we can't eat that shit that looks so good. Right. So. Men and women, you gotta know that you can't have sex with everything that looks so good. You can't be in a relationship with everything that looks so good. You gotta look for other qualities besides physical attractiveness, and you'll probably be happy.
Yeah, it's true. Mr. Clarence?
Hey, no, please call me Clarence.
Yes, I like that. Clarence, how you doing, sir?
How are you?
Fine. Thank you for sharing your story with us earlier. And we are eager to know what happened and what's going on in your life in the present time. All right, so can you just let us know where you're from and your situation what your situation was going on when you was younger to what's going on now?
Okay, well, basically, I want to thank you for allowing me this platform, because there are many of us who are getting out of the mental health unit system, state and federal prison systems, who may not have been diagnosed and who don't have a chance in the corporate system. So we show up into these wealthy enclaves only to be targeted by race-curious black police officers. And that's what I would really like to touch on, not so much as my entire history, but the specifics of this case, if I may.
Okay. Mr. Clarence, do you have something playing in the background?
Yeah, your show.
Okay. All right, can you turn it down, please? Thank you. Yeah. And please share it while you're at it. While you're about to turn it down, share it.
I already have.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Clarence.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
Okay, so, all right. So, let's go into what you wanted to talk about. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Well, this is what I can share with you. On October the 31st of 2008, I was released from the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services Mental Health Unit in a place called Patuxent Institute that's located in Jessup, Maryland. On November the 2nd of 2008, I went into this neighborhood. Am I allowed to say names?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, I went into this neighborhood called Parkview that sits within the borders of University City. I started out on Skinker at Washington, and by the time I reached 40 doors, the 40th door, a lady by the name of Jane Cortell Kenyon, who used to work for Solutia, but she purchased this company called Halcyon Shades later on and brought it from Juarez, Mexico, and
No, but we're listening.
Sir?
Yeah, we're listening. We're here.
I didn't understand you.
No, we hear you. We wasn't aware that was going on in that community. It goes on in this country, but, you know, we're here listening.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, but the thing was during the 9 years, this will be like my 10th year inside of Parkview, but during those 9 years that led up to my illegal arrest, every day, black, race, and curious University City police officers, white officers from University City, I mean, it could be raining outside, then they would be like, spread eagle on the street. If it was nice and broiling hot, then I had the pleasure of leaning up against the tree. But on March the 16th of 2016, March the 17th of 2016, Officer Larry Beckton of the University City Police Department, a black man, saw me inside of Parkview talking with a professor, Dylan Johnston, who's a retired professor from Washington University. And he decided to wait for Professor Johnston to walk away from me. And then he started approaching me with his hand on his gun hip, talking about, hey, do you belong in here? Do you belong in here? Suspicious activity in the neighborhood. And at the time, it was like about maybe 15 neighbors. That day was like 72 degrees outside, and it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So instead of him like approaching any of the neighbors in Parkview and saying, hey, you guys recognize this guy? You know, he didn't do any of that. So they took me to the condemned section of the University City Police Department and left me in there for 7.5 hours.
Wow.
Oh, that's terrible.
No, but see, here's the frightening thing, and this is why I say race curious. See, there was another black cop who showed up, and while they got my face in the mulch and wrestling my cell phone away from me because I was recording it, he said, oh, no, man, I showed up from St. Louis. He's a St. Louis City police officer. He's telling Officer Beckton, no, I had to report to University City headquarters in order to put on a University City police shirt in order to show up to assist you here with locking this guy up. And he's stating this. And I'm recording it, and then the beautiful part was I still have all of the recording. It's on my messenger page called Parkview Silence.
Okay. All right. So
wait. So you went through 9 years of
Okay,
constant.
May I touch on this? Now, I do have a psychiatric history that goes back to 1972 when my parents had me institutionalized at David P. Wold Psychiatric Center. Okay, but see, here's the thing, and this name I do not want to air, but Dr. Flint Fowler, he taught me this thing about character, because you know what Dr. Fowler did that told me that I'm to be trusted? Now, the first time I met Dr. Fowler, he and his wife, Dr. June McAllister Fowler, they were going on a trip to Hawaii, but somehow Mrs. McAllister Fowler left her six-piece luggage set in front of their residence on Pershing. I found it, and held it. So 3 years after that happened, Dr. Fowler and Miss June hired me to clean the inside of their house. So for 7 days, I scrubbed this house to a fine sheen. But that's what taught me about character, Lamont, and I am forever grateful to Dr. Fowler for what he did for me. And I mean, you can visit my messenger page, and I have him on there. So do you know Dr. Fowler?
no.
Really, Lamont?
I don't know Dr. Why would I know Dr. Fowler? I mean, I've never.
He's president of Herbert Hoover Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I should know who he is. But I don't know who he is.
Okay, well, Lamont, you will meet that. If that's the case, then go on your smartphone and tag Dr. Fowler. You've got to know him. He does too much for our community.
So let me ask you a question. So you was in the psych ward, you said back in 72, 73?
Yes, but you seem to keep focusing on this instead of, I don't get this.
No, because my thing is I would like to show, I want people to know, like, you know, did you take your medicine? Like, did it help you? Like, questions, you know, answers that could help somebody. Well,
my stomach is growling. I'm gonna say that instead of saying what I want to say.
Maybe I should have spoken up. I'm doing a series on mental illness, so.
I mean, it's
all right. This is the thing.
Some things you just gotta laugh off, and it's not out of like we
kind of touched on this earlier with the police thing, but what I'm seeing, what I'm getting from that was he went through almost a decade of police, you know, brutality, insensitivity, harassment, false profiling. He's gone through a lot with the Parkview community.
Right.
I don't know exactly where he wanted to go with that, but if he has all this footage, then you know he needs to
send it in,
make a documentary.
iCloud.
We'll share the documentary.
Yeah, we'll share it.
Create a documentary. Yeah. If you want us to create a documentary,
tag and post, hashtags, all
reach out to us and send us all this information so that we can really make an expose about Parkview and really get your agenda out there, because right now we weren't exactly clear on your agenda. But thank you for calling in. It's a tough story.
Yeah.
You know, as the people can hear, if you are going through any kind of psychiatric problems, or if you did as a child,
it's all right to talk about.
It's okay to talk
about it. Can you please talk about it, Jay? Please, about that type of stuff.
Hi. I've been doing.
That was my first bang. I'm an official big picture banger. Wow. I'm gonna get the.
You got banged on, son.
Yeah.
I mean, banged on. You was like, yo, what?
Interview is over.
So I don't understand why you keep focusing on that part.
No, this is my passion with this. I'm an Iraqi freedom veteran, and you know, coming back from war and everything, noticing that I didn't want to admit it for years, but I struggled with major depressive disorder and post-traumatic stress syndrome. Post-traumatic stress syndrome is like, you know, when something traumatic happens to you and you may break out into like a panic attack and you just have bad memories without wanting to think about it.
Exactly.
Depression is interesting. Depression is like just being sad, being isolated, not eating, not wanting to be around people, not wanting to socialize, stuff like that. So I struggled with a lot of that when I got off the military. And so it wasn't something that I proclaimed, you know what I'm saying? It took me, I've been out the military 15 years and I just started to like get to a point to where I can, you know, talk about it, because I didn't know what was going on. Like, I remember one time I was at I had just got back and I took my brother and my sisters to a friend's house for a barbecue. And my brother, he out with the fireworks. He want to be around the biggest ones. He doing the most. So I'm like, you know, stay kids. So I'm like, I don't want these kids to get hurt. I'm responsible for them. Like, this is a lot of pressure for a 21-year-old right now. So the bomb type explode thing went off, and I don't know, I was out of there, track star, 3 blocks down the street. I was terrified. I didn't even realize I was running until like the 2nd block, and I stopped. Like, I look goofy right now, and I had to walk back. I'm like, they probably think I'm crazy, because I just ran down the street. Like, in that moment, I was somewhere else.
Did you ever have to take counseling, or how did that work out?
Well, I went to the VA. You know, at first I just was like, it was a problem for me because I was an honor student, and when I went to college, like, I had to take like 2 remedial math classes before I could take the class that counted towards my degree. In math, I was taking college algebra and trig in high school. So it's like, how did I go from that to this? I had trouble reading. like I had trouble concentrating. So I went to the doctor and she was like, yo, take this pill. I was like, no, like you ain't finna have me slump, trauma. I live alone. I ain't got time for this. So for years I was so anti, you know what I'm saying, medication, but they was like, look, you can talk to somebody.
Therapeutic.
And that's when I learned the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist. So a psychiatrist is somebody where you sit down and they prescribe you the medication. A psychologist is going to take a different approach. They're not going to give you medication. They're going to talk to you. You might do different type of therapy. Like the VA, they pretty lit with the therapy. They got like horse therapy. I'm about to go kayaking in a couple weeks. Like it's going down. But
and may I suggest
yeah.
CBD oils that
oh,
those help.
aromatherapy?
No.
What's CBD?
Cannabis.
Okay, cannabis. All right.
Minus the THC, it's not necessarily to be high,
right?
but more so to put that little cooling cap on your nerve endings, get you neurologically chilled out. You understand? I would, you know, as a
that helps with your anxiety.
As a, you know,
helps with your panic attacks.
Yeah, you know.
All right.
Because I'll be going through it. I learned too much in a short period of time, and I see a lot. And sometimes I gotta just like decompress.
Right,
yeah.
That's real.
Cause I hate it.
I see my friend Lola on here. What's up?
Damn right, Chris. CBD for the win, bro.
If somebody else on here, I know. Hey.
But
so that happened to me, and like you know, after I finished grad school, I had came back to Chicago. And a poet by the name of Caleb, the poet out there in Chicago, she had did a piece about like kids in the hood and like their mental struggles. Like you got raped when you was a shorty and your mama got raped, and that's what we do is get raped, so we not even dealing with this. Or shorties out there, it's so much violence going on, and there's no trauma, there's no counseling. I just got to go back to school and my homie just got smoked. Like, so that's what made me want to focus on mental illness, specifically concerning Black people. So,
I mean, because some of those kids are pretty much going through some of the same things you went through when you heard, you know, that firecracker go off. Yeah. It's the same thing for gunshots and, you know, and all kind of different triggers.
My sister, actually, shout out to my sister Jensine, her boyfriend, he shot himself in front of her. And she was having panic attacks like the next day or two. I was like, wow, like, even though I've seen so much, I've never seen nothing like that happen. Yeah. And then for somebody you care about, that you love. So rest in peace. He just had a birthday. Everything's golden. Shout out to my family. But yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like, you know what's going on, and you're not afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, and you're blessed to have an outlet to talk about it. You know, and it's good that you said to yourself, if I'm not gonna take the medication, at least I'm gonna get some kind of help.
Right. But I take medication now. I mean, I ain't
still
afraid to
but
keep that
you've
real.
coupled it. You've used it with.
Yeah, like I on some real stuff. I was so anti-medication for years. I was like, I'm not taking this. No, I don't need anything in my body. Like, no, that's it. But like, I've had some mentors here since I've been in New York, and one of them, she struggled with depression, and after I've had a few losses in my family, I just hit rock bottom, and I was like, yo, it's not enough for me to keep fighting. Like, I needed something else. And then I've been reading about it. Like, some people have chemical imbalances because of trauma. So for lack of better words, like, your brain can be chemically stuck somewhere, and you may not be producing the serotonin and all the dopamine, whatever you need to get to that point. And there's some things that come in and they help you. You don't have to stay on it, but it helps you through those rough times, and they call it like living through chemistry. There's a book written by a Black author, Terry Williams. It's called Black Pain. I think it's Terry Williams, but I think it's Terry M. Williams, but it's called Black Pain, and it talks. She's a Black woman who's really high career in public affairs, and she was slumped. She was in her apartment 4 days, like just sad, like cut off from everybody, and they had to come pull her out of her funk. A lot of times when people be in these funks, like
it's like they're deep.
They're deep, and
Like
that's
when you're in
depression.
it, you're in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Shout out
I
to
completely
Keon.
get it. You know, my dad was never diagnosed, but I'm sure he suffered with that, and he actually
a doctor's opinion.
Yeah, but he never got that. So he committed suicide when I was about 14, right?
Sorry. How does that? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you can. I'm
does
completely
that
open about it
feel?
because I lied about it for so long.
Wow.
So my father had like a heart condition for like mad years after he died. But you know, once I started to learn things, I just I understand it now. So it's nothing like.
Right.
I mean, but having anxiety and depression from when you're a kid, never having it diagnosed. He grew up in Wagner Projects in the 70s. So
I'm not familiar with Wagner.
Alright, so Wagner Projects is like on the east side of
Jim
Harlem.
Jones is from, right?
That's from like Jim Jones.
I was just over there.
I think is Dave East from Wagner?
Where is that? Harlem?
Yes, Harlem. That's the east side of Harlem.
Where is that at?
Like 120th. If you take 125th all the way down to the east, where the Triborough Bridge entrance is.
That tall
those projects,
bridge?
those projects is right there from like 124th down to like 120.
112. I think it's like 112.
No. Wagner's up. Wagner's like 124th. Yeah, 112th is.
It can't be 124th. I think Wagner gotta be 112th.
Nah, bro.
124th is like that's like a church. That's where the choir. That's Ephesus.
Bro, I'm talking about First Avenue though.
That's like 15th.
First Avenue. First Avenue.
I always
East Harlem. East Harlem.
East.
Triborough Bridge entrance.
124th and First Avenue.
Yeah.
That's no project. That's like some big.
That's the projects. Palladino and First Avenue. That's Wagner.
Nah.
Both y'all.
You bugging, bro. You bugging.
Yo,
somebody tell me that Wagner projects. Because like my family is from Wagner. So I don't know what this guy is talking about.
He's saying Wagner's
maybe 123rd, 122nd, but it's right over 25th.
Wagner is like a 115th.
No, it's not, bro.
It's
Wagner's not a ways down. Because 115th. Is it 115th?
Yeah, Toka.
It's like 23rd to like.
Toka has the answer.
It's like 123rd to 118.
Toka has the answer today.
18th. We'll go 118th, like 118th.
But it goes up to like 123rd.
No, hell, Wagner.
Hell yeah, Wagner goes up to 123rd. It don't go to 123rd.
Somebody watching from Harlem, please let us know. Let Will know what Wagner is, because today he does not have that answer.
Am I tripping about Wagner?
You sat tripping.
Whatever. I don't care. I live in Williamsburg. So my father grew up in the projects, depressed, going, coming up through hip hop, and he was never diagnosed for any of the problems that he had. He was one of those guys, alpha male, super like Afrocentric. You know what I mean? We didn't celebrate none of these bullshit holidays. The only bullshit holiday that we celebrated was Kwanzaa. But, some people don't think it's bullshit. I think it's bullshit. But that's the only Kwanzaa.
Oh, yeah.
It's just trash. But, because it's the same thing. It's just the same thing as all the other made up drinks. But that's it. He was just that kind of guy. He was strong. He tried to take care of everything. And he didn't talk to anybody. And, that's what I think led to his demise and his, inability to continue to go on. Never got any help. Yeah. Never had the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he ever had the conversation. You know what I mean? So, that's just what it is. And we lost a lot of people. We lost a lot of people. So he lost his father and his sister and his mom when he was like 10. I mean, like, wow. So it's like, he took care of everybody, and that kind of led him crazy almost. If people that are crazy commit suicide, I don't know. I don't know if suicide is crazy or not.
I should know.
That's just fine. 435 East.
120. Come on, like I know what I'm talking about. Like, that's Wagner Projects, bro. Like Section 1, Section 2, Palladino, First Avenue. I know I'm not tripping.
I don't know nothing.
I know I'm not tripping. But yeah, man, that shit is tough. And what I did was I kind of like used his example to be a certain way. You know what I mean? I just didn't let things get me down, and I talked about everything. That's why I'm just like an open book. I'm going to talk about it all because I'm not going to sit on nobody's couch and talk to them, right? I'd rather talk to everybody I come in contact with.
Okay.
I mean, you got to discern whether to give certain people certain information, but be open.
I got this question. You don't want to sit on nobody's couch. What does that mean?
I'm just not gonna sit on nobody's couch and talk to them about my problems.
Why not?
Because I talk about my problems every single day. If you create a support system, right? I mean, these people are still just guessing. These are things that people learn in a school. That's cool. I get it.
Okay, I'm about to bang you with some. Come on with yours.
I mean, it's things that people have learned.
Right.
And I get it, but I can do the same reading. So I'm gonna do my own reading, and I'm gonna talk to my friends, and I'm gonna talk to my wife, and I'm gonna talk to my mother, and I'm gonna talk to people who I trust. And I'm gonna get their opinion, and I'm gonna still have my readings and my research and my studying, and I'm gonna come to where I need to come to. I haven't dealt with anything in a while in terms of, you know, feeling depressed or down. And it's mostly when I stopped caring about money. Because that's a trigger for most of us. It's money.
It's
We
money.
don't have what other people have. And the advertisers drive us insane.
Right.
Advertisement and marketing drive us to insanity. We want to have what's on the screen. We want to have what the person next to us has. But we really just need to have the family or the love. That's all you really need.
Yeah.
So like that's how I've kept myself.
I agree with
balanced.
all of that. I agree that we need all of that, especially the love, and we have to have a support system. But the thing is, there's some people out here where they can't make it like that. Where they have to go talk to somebody, they have to sort it out. And oftentimes I think that, like, with certain people, okay, you're educated, but the people around you.
Oh no, I'm uneducated.
No, I'm talking about education in terms of you're reading and educating yourself on these things.
Because
that was deep.
I want people to know I am uneducated.
I don't care about that.
I just want people to know that.
If you read, you educated. So
Alright,
that's
I
what I'm
fucks with
saying.
that way of thinking
That's
because
okay.
that's not America's way of thinking,
But
or the
if
black
you can
community's way of
read and
thinking.
you can count your money well, you are very educated. That's what I tell my kids every day. Make sure you can read, so you can read these contracts.
Now, when you
count.
say kids, do you have do you have kids?
I
What
have
kind of-
18 second and third grade kids that I dedicate
Nice.
my time to every day. I used to have some middle school kids. I don't miss none of y'all. But middle school is too much. I'd rather deal with kids crying over crayons. But, you know, shout out to whoever. But I deal with these kids every day, and they don't want to do their homework. So I'd be like, look, you need to learn how to read. I've sat in the unemployment office and had manager applicate. You the boss. And I can't even read what they talking about. I'm sitting here making a decision on whether or not you're going to get your unemployment. And I don't know what this say. Denied. Like you, and you're the manager. Come on, man. I need America to step their life up. But anyway.
It's true.
No, it's real though. We're not learning here. That's what was going with the whole poetry. We haven't learned how to read poetry.
Right.
It's not the words. Knowing words is cool, but it's about reading between the lines, reading through the words. You know what I mean? Like living with just the rhythm of what the words are doing. So
I wanted to hear Clarence's story, you know, with his psychiatric.
I think you heard his story.
The dial tone. Right?
I think you heard his story damn well.
The bang.
I really wanted to hear his story, you know.
Don't get all vulnerable now. He banged it on you, cuz.
Bang.
Like how you bang,
He was
bang.
he was like in call.
Put your face down.
Yeah, he
He
was.
didn't even look at it no more. He turned off the show.
He was saving his minutes.
Nah, he's a saving his minutes.
He was
Nah, like
saving his
he's going through a lot. All of it. We don't have the specifics on all that he's going through, but he's going through a lot. And I'm sure with I mean, listen, the cops are shitty. And black cops are just as shitty as white cops. Because it's not about the color of your skin when you're in a blue uniform. It's about the foundation. If something is built and founded off of slave patrol, like hunting down slaves.
That's what it is.
The three major purposes of the slave patrol was to catch fugitive slaves, punish fugitive slaves, and make sure that every other slave feared being a fugitive. What the fuck are they doing now? Besides hunting niggas down,
Yes.
punishing niggas,
Yes.
and making sure everybody who sees that nigga get punished don't want to do nothing.
Because he
He got his ass beat.
Yeah.
And we all standing there with our
That's a
cameras.
fact.
Oh shit! I'm gonna send this to you later, bro. Once you heal up.
Once you heal up.
Like yo, we really not even seeing how bad we are in this predicament that we're in America. But whatever. Forget all that. But I understand Clarence. He's going through that, and black cops that look just like him will be whooping on his ass and acting stupid.
But he brought up the whole psychiatric issue.
That's not important for that story.
He brought. I don't see how like you can be uncomfortable talking
No,
about.
because he's trying. This is what he's doing. He was discriminated upon for almost a decade. When he was just trying to make money. He's just trying to make a living. Look how he went through the story. I went to 40 doors until someone hired me. And I did a hell of a good job. Yeah. And he goes back to the doctor that he met, that him and his wife trusted him to do something for them and do a good job. He's someone who he wants to feel love and trust from people. When the police stop him for 9 years, that's showing the extreme amount of distrust for just him. And he can feel like he's being targeted personally. Because it's just him.
It sounded like he was going through something. That wasn't.
They bothered him. They bothered him for 9 years.
He's scorned. He's scorned.
Of course he's scorned.
He's been buked.
He's gone through it. He's gone through it with like a lot of people go through it, and it's not to like but it's a frustration. They want to out for it. They want to get payback or something. He wants to tell his story. That's why if you want to send all that footage, we could like make a website dedicated to it. Of course, it's going to cost you, but we'll make a website dedicated to it, and we can really try to make an expose on the Parkview community and how they're racist, or on how the City University cops are just out of their damn minds and very discriminatory. I care about what you went through, Clarence. Yeah. I definitely care. And we can do things about it. You just have to come to us with a concise and clear way of putting that together for you. Whatever you want, we can put that together for you.
I mean, we encourage Clarence. You know, he's been a wonderful viewer. He gives us tons of credit. He gives us, tons of feedback of what he sees on the streets, his community, and we appreciate him. We appreciate all the different comments that we get from people.
Page? Parkview, man. I'm thinking.
He sent me a message, and we'll look into it.
Clarence, please hit us on the Big Picture Media page.
The
Big Picture Media group. You can just send us an inbox, and we can really go through all of that. Because I feel like it's going to be a lot that we have to go through. Yeah. Because this was not 9 years of harassment, man.
Yeah. And I felt he was going through something, and he touched on certain things for a reason. So I just want to thank everybody for watching. It was a good show tonight. Clarence, thank you for calling in.
We did 50 minutes? This is short.
Yeah. This is like a we ain't gonna end yet. What I'm saying? We gonna set.
Thank y'all, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank y'all for tuning in and being with us through the awkward interview when Monty got hung up on. Straight disrespect.
Shout out to Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Dolly's like, why am I not there when Monty's getting hung up on?
Yeah.
Banged it on him.
Too hilarious.
Dolly, we love you. We miss you. We'll see you.
How was your Father's Day? Hold on, man. How was your Father's Day?
Happy Father's Day.
I don't celebrate that shit.
Oh, my bad.
Yo, what is wrong with y'all? Like, we either gonna not celebrate white holidays,
this is why I say it,
or we gonna celebrate white holidays.
They were watching, but I know it's gonna.
Like, what we doing here? Like, we either gonna go with they shit, or we just gonna not go with they shit. I don't eat at no restaurants that have commercials. I don't do nothing that has a sale based around it. None of it, because it's just the perpetual.
You are over the media. I love it.
I'm done. Yes. Like, I'm done. A lot of us need to be done.
Yes.
And the ones of us who do get it, we need to just start our own media fucking platforms so that other people can just like come together. But they will kill us because the dollar is very important. So we can't be scared to die. You can't be scared to die. They will fucking kill us. It's real. And I'm not really worried about it. Because I believe in reincarnation. So I'm going to be back as a fucking dolphin. And I'm going to be flipping through the water. Getting busy. I'm so,
getting busy.
We're looking through the media page right now. Shout out to Rucker Park. The games have started.
EBC?
EBC, it has started. Shout out to EJ Johnson, who is running the show up there. Shout out to him.
Wait, EJ Johnson, like...
Yeah, EJ, yeah. He's, he used to commentate, do the shows and stuff like that.
Oh, Ernie Johnson?
No, Eric, EJ.
Oh, who's that? I don't know that guy.
Yeah, from uptown. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's fire then. If he running it?
Yeah.
That's dope.
So
I thought you were saying Irvin Magic Johnson's son.
Oh, nah.
I just met him a couple weeks ago. That dude is a big woman.
Yeah.
That is a big woman there. Lord have mercy.
Show is.
Nigga look like me in a dress. I was like, what is this?
Tall as you?
He's taller than me, actually.
Wow.
He's like 6'5". Wow. Because I'm 6'3.5". He's 6'5".
Wow, he's 6'5".
Yeah. It's a very, very tall woman to have to interact with.
I wonder how Magic deals with
In
that.
sneakers, though.
That's dope.
In sneakers.
Keeping it true.
6'5" in sneakers.
That's
like
what's up.
true height. In heels, 6'8", 6'9" walking around here. Craziness, the Matrix.
The Matrix.
Wow.
That's funny.
Shout out to him, man. He's good. But no, shout out to EJ Johnson, who is now running the EBC Entertainers Basketball Classic at the Rucker Park. Man, shout out to Harlem, 155th.
Shout out to Rose Plasmy. Hope I'm saying your name right.
Wait, do we have to go through where Rucker Park is for the Harlem Nights?
You might not know.
You sure?
If you don't know where Rucker Park is,
are you sure?
Let's let them know.
You didn't know where Wagner was at?
Oh man, I knew it because I'm not from the East Side. I'm a West Side.
You from
guy.
Harlem, bro?
But and we was just
Harlem.
I could have sworn that was like 112.
You from Harlem,
or like
man.
114 for I don't know.
Like you from Harlem, man. Every part of Harlem, man. Spanish part, man. Shout out to Carver Projects. Shout out to Taft. Shout out to Johnson. Shout out to Wagner. Everywhere. East Side, West Side, downtown, uptown.
You got me.
It's about Harlem because we losing it. We losing it.
We trying to bring it back.
Ain't no coming back.
But you stop being so negative. We taking Harlem. We getting the bag right now, and it's ours. I'm taking it.
Wow.
I want
like a train of thought.
I'm getting my money. I'm about to buy Harlem. I'm serious.
We might as well just go buy Flint because real estate is gonna be like. We might as well just go
we
do
can
that.
fix the water.
We can fix the water. Because, listen, we can fix the water.
Oh, Foster's on 115th.
Don't come back now with you.
Foster's on 115th. I don't know if that was Foster. I think he was by Foster. That's what it was. That's what.
Don't die.
I think it was Foster. I'm not sure.
Who's next one? Who's up there on the media page?
Oh, yeah. So, back to the media page, man.
Who deserves some love?
We want to show some love to Michelle, Queen of Harlem. She has a party on Saturday, which is going to be off the hook.
That's a joint in Jersey?
Yeah, joint in Jersey.
Fire.
Dirty Diana, she's going to be there too. It's going to be, something good.
That's my song right there. That's my jam.
Yeah, man. Who else shout out to? Let me see who we got down here. Yeah, I said what's up to Rose Plasmy. Yeah, she put a page up here. They're having a black and white boat ride and a barbecue party after. That's on July 28th on a Saturday. So, y'all been on boat rides lately?
I was.
I haven't been on a boat since damn, bro. It's been a long time.
It's
been a long time since I've been on a boat. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's time for a boat ride.
It's time for a boat ride. Does the ferry count?
July 28th.
Does the ferry count? Can I count the ferry as a boat ride?
Come on, where we at?
Now, where we at?
Black and white.
It's
Come
black and white.
through. The Star of
It's
New York. Come on, what time we in here? 2 floors of music. You can get your boogie on, okay?
Yeah, that's...
It's
We need to go to that boat ride. Let's do that.
Oh man, y'all missed the early bird special, so it's $50. Holler at a player to be
Open
fly.
bar?
We'll see.
Open bar?
I
Let
don't
me
know.
see. If it's open bar, come on, man.
Because I ain't paying $50 if it ain't open bar. That's why I asked that.
Come. Yeah, barbecue after looks good too.
The barbecue? Hello.
I'll do the barbecue.
Oh, it's okay. 20% of the revenue will go towards the Phenomenal for Haiti.
That's cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Wait, what? The what for what?
Phenomenal for Haiti.
Yeah.
Come home.
Get your tickets.
Yeah.
Get your tickets. Get your tickets to that boat ride. I'm sure it's going to be a phenomenal ride. The weather is beautiful. If it's going around the New York Harbor, you get some beautiful views of the city. The
Phenomenal Woman Inc. That's the name of the company.
Shout out to Phenomenal Woman Inc. and everything that you do.
Yeah. Last time you said something, the chair broke. You know what I'm talking about.
Listen,
so that's why you did the right thing. You saw the big picture. You saw the he sees it.
Did you catch that?
He sees it.
In my chair.
Yeah.
I was going in on the ancestors.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that.
It was bad, man. The ancestors paid me right back.
What episode?
It was like
it was like
episode 4 or something like that, man. We talking about the slavery as a choice thing. I'm not saying it was a choice. I'm just saying like Haiti got their shit together, man. And then then my chair broke. So hey, man, listen, Harriet and Free Frank and Ike. Not Ike, Nat Turner, all of those guys, they just swooped down and broke my chair. But I want y'all to know that I respect the ancestors, but I am critical of them because if you don't criticize anything, you won't learn from it.
That's true.
So
That's true. Wow, man! Listen, we had a very good show today.
Oh yeah, no, listen, this show was funny. I can't wait to get the clip of when you got banged on.
Yeah, that was a moment, and I encourage,
He's like, because Mom, he was like, hello?
No, I it was gonna come.
Because you know that iPhone, when the iPhone hit you with the bing, 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 you know it's over. It just said, boop, boop, boop. You're done.
Somebody's already wow, they showed the clip to their moms already.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
You're done.
Yeah, so
It was like,
listen, man, I just try to encourage people, whatever happened in your life, help somebody else.
It can
Give somebody
help.
some information.
It's a testimony for somebody else.
That's how I feel.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
I don't. We're not trying to, shed too much light on one thing or the other. But give us an experience of what happened because you might be able to help someone else.
That's true. That's true.
You gotta turn a negative into a positive.
Yeah.
Yes, those couple of years that you were in a psych ward when you was little, that was a hard moment. But you gotta learn how to talk about it sometimes, especially on a platform like this. You can change your life. You just can't bury all them. Let me just put that under the rug. Let's talk about those cops that beat up
this
so-and-so.
is the thing. He can't help change your life until he first changes
his
himself.
own. Yeah. And that's my.
So this is the thing. He may not be able.
to-
He may not have wanted to relive that yet, because
Okay,
that's
that's
still
real.
these
That's
chemical
real.
imbalances that we speak of.
That's real.
It's
And
still
it's
his
triggers,
brain is
and
still there.
So we apologize if that was
Yeah.
a trigger.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
apologize
class.
if I triggered you and made you, said something you didn't like.
Yes.
Feel free to reach back out to us. We respect, what you talk about, where you come from, and what you represent. Because you're representing the people at the end of the day. Bad boy, shame on you. Yeah. So listen.
No, it's all good. You got hung up on. Listen, the ancestors got right back at you.
Yeah. So listen, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Next week, we're gonna have another awesome one. Shout out to Shay. Shout out to James Baxter from last week who came on.
Oh man,
they're gonna be coming on next week and giving us, letting us know more about the film
Hey,
company.
cousin Yvette, I love you too.
Hey, cousin Yvette, is she back in Chicago?
Yeah, she's in Chicago.
I gotta visit Chicago.
You got
Chicago is a
to.
place.
It is
I gotta
the
go
place
visit my
to
cousin
be.
out there.
Yes,
My cousin
summertime
lives out
shy, nothing like it.
It's love. How's the food?
Delicious. You gonna gain. You come to New York and you gonna lose 5 pounds from all this walking.
Mm-hmm.
In Chicago, you gonna gain 10 from eating. Good.
What's your favorite restaurant out there?
Oh my God. Oh,
Don't say
man.
Harold's or nothing like that.
Nah.
Like, give me that
What type
raw.
of food? What type of food? Cause I be
The
getting.
best barbecue in Chicago.
Oh, now that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to go back to the real deal. It's not even in Chicago. It's in my hometown of Markham, off 159th. They was owned by some kids I grew up with, parents. Ex-Senators Barbecue. I'm talking about you can smell when you get off the expressway. You smell it in the air. You just.
That's what I taste the air.
Ooh, and then the smoke coming out. Ooh, Jesus. Shout out to a Senator's Barbecue. Let me get a rib and a couple wings and extra sauce and some fries.
But I was gonna ask you about pizza, but Chicago pizza's trash.
Oh,
and it's been another great episode.
The show.
It's been a great episode, guys. Chicago pizza is horrible.
No, it is not. Don't believe that, because y'all even got it right. And if you're not gonna get it here, if you talking about them reconstructed pieces that y'all serve here, don't do it.
Listen, a dollar slice is fire in New York City.
No, that's because you hungry and that's it, and they right there. Stop playing with me.
Because the water is better here. So
Listen, thank you guys for tuning in, man.
so we're about to get some Chicago pizza flown in.
Go out there, get you something to eat, get you some barbecue. Shout out to Chicago.
Shout out to the Chi.
Shout out to Clarence again.
When's
Shout out
season
to
2
Dolly.
Season 2 of the Chi.
One love. Peace, y'all.
Oh man, that was